So thank you. We have on the phone now Congressman Peter King from Long Island. He is the ranking member of the Homeland Security Committee and certainly knowledgeable about all things related to terror. Congressman King, thanks for being with us today.
You're very welcome.
All right, let's start with what you're hearing and how serious is this at this point, particularly for us here in the United States?
I have been briefed on this, and I can tell you that there is a very serious investigation going on. TSA and the FBI in particular are looking for packages that we have reason to believe are suspicious. It involves a number of locations in our country plus overseas. We have intelligence that we are relying on, and so far it appears to be rated. So this is very serious. It's very ongoing. The assuring news is that the government is aware of it, and we're taking prompt action and efficient action. But it is, from all indications so far, these are very real threats.
And it seems to be more in line with what we're starting to hear more and more about these terrorist threats that striking in Paris, and now we're seeing this thing that was averted in England, but still going through what might potentially be a problem here in the United States. Are we seeing an escalation in these?
You know what, I'm just going to cut you off 1 second, Lori. We just got word, Congressman King, that Newark Airport has been cleared. We just want to get that on the air very quickly. Newark Airport has been cleared, so whatever suspicious whatever they thought might have been on a UPS plane, it has been cleared. I'm sorry, please continue.
No. I think, obviously, you had to bring that up since it was breaking news. But once again, are we seeing instances of escalating examples of possible terrorism?
Yes, the enemy, Al-Qaeda, is constantly adjusting, is constantly changing, is constantly adapting. And this is one of the matters that we have been very concerned about. Has been cargo explosives. Also, as we know, we saw the Times Square bomber, the Christmas Day bomber, last year the attempted subway bomber. So threats are always there. And sometimes they're acted on. And so what we're seeing now, right now, it looks as if we are on top of it because of very good intelligence and the FBI and TSA being very, very alert. But I just want people to know that these are the type of threats we have to be on the lookout for at all times.
And you see this different method where it's not a bomb that's accompanied by an individual. Lisa Calagrassi was just talking about how the screening process is not, it might be substandard or at least not to the level of it is with individuals walking through various security measures. So maybe this is another method of trying to slip things in.
Yeah, we're not going into details. There are differences in security levels between passenger planes and cargo planes. If there was if the same level of security was used on both, it would bring cargo flights almost to a halt. So we try to strike the balance, and so far it's worked. It's working right now, but no system is 100% foolproof. This is just another example of that.
All right, Congressman Peter King joining us, bring us up to date on what you know. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Well, let's go right back.
She'll be back with us in a minute. In the meantime, I'm joined by New York Congressman Pete King. He's the ranking member of the Homeland Security Committee. Congressman, thank you so much for being with us. What do you know so far about what's happening here?
I have been briefed on it. I've been discussing both with federal officials and also local officials here in New York. And, very much what Catherine said, there is good intelligence, reliable intelligence, which cause us to be concerned. A number of the tips we received or some of the details received are being confirmed. What you're seeing as far as Newark and Philadelphia, New York and others is cautionary tactics being carried out. We know Commissioner Kelly, for instance, has stopped several trucks in New York. As far as the suspicious package in London, or actually in England, that also is part of this overall investigation that's going on. To me, it's been taken very seriously. It's being taken for real. The TSA and FBI are on top of it. Our allies are working very closely with us. We are in contact with foreign countries. So as far as a lot of the details, I think the story may be changing during the day. I think there are some quick conclusions being made. But the fact is, I think overall this is for real. and whether or not it's a test, whether or not explosives were intended to go off, whatever, the fact is there is something happening here which has been taken very seriously.
We're watching the Philadelphia airport where there is a UPS flight that is still on the ground. We believe that this was a flight that originated in Paris that raised some concerns with respect to one of the packages on it. There was another plane that was outbound from Philadelphia that was also of concern. Yet another plane at the Newark airport that was also of concern. We understand the all clear was given in Newark, but we're not sure what the status is with respect to the plane in Newark. Nonetheless, watching this plane on the ground in Philadelphia and watching another plane that we did see on the ground still in Newark, not sure what the status of that is. Congressman King, we were told there was local reports here in New York earlier that said that with respect to the threats in Brooklyn and Queens, where they had been examining UPS trucks, possibly for suspicious packages. Ray Kelly mentioned in particular an envelope on one that came from Yemen. We heard locally that the all clear had been given, but we lost our feed from Commissioner Kelly before we could get his confirmation on that. Do you know whether there has been an all clear issued as far as within the borders of New York?
No, I don't. I know that they haven't. I believe the 3 trucks, as Commissioner Kelly said, he was told about Yemen. There is a profile that's being looked for as far as the types of packages, types of cargo, country it's coming from, planes it might be on, that type of thing. So there is, we know what we're looking for, and that's why you're seeing a number of these inspections being carried out. Some of them may end up being nothing, others may again, end up being something. So what we're seeing here is a smaller part of a larger operation that's going on right now. And again, I'm like you, I'm also waiting to hear from Commissioner Kelly as to what the final report was on that envelope.
Any understanding on how the original threat, which was on board a flight that originated in Yemen, was stopped in the middle of England, bound for Chicago? On board, they found a suspicious package that they believe was a toner. It looked like a toner from a printer cartridge that had wire sticking out of it. It has been deemed they did not find explosives in connection with that, but that's obviously raised some concern and led to other concerns that we're seeing right here in the United States. Do you have any idea how then, here locally, we were able to target which flights were potentially in danger, what packages we needed to look for, and how wide the threat is spread?
I think you could say we were looking for country of origin, types of cargo, and also we did have some good reporting. It's all I can tell you. This was a good job, is a good job being done by our country overseas and here at home. And as far as the package in England, I don't know if that analysis is absolutely final yet. I'll just leave it at that.
And you know what? And on that note, can I stand you by, sir? Because but rejoining me now is Congressman Peter King. So you heard our sister network Sky News, sir, reporting that one of the packages, the one that was going from Yemen, stopped it in the middle of England, basically, at this Midland airport, en route for Chicago, was, quote, a sinister package, but not a bomb, nonetheless described as a sinister device. And then speaking of yet another device that they believe was on another plane that was bound for the United States, Sky News not able to fill in the blanks as to whether or not the plane carrying that device indeed took off or has arrived in the United States yet.
Yeah, I am not in a position to say yes or no about the second device. The first device, again, even though they're saying it's not a bomb, if you notice they're saying it's a sinister device, it's been sent on for further testing. So I think, again, the final word is not yet in on that device. And when you look at the fact that there was reason to look on this plane, you find a sinister device, it's obviously something is happening here, and that's why it's being taken so seriously by TSA, by the FBI, by the British, who have now elevated this to a higher level as far as the inspection and the analysis. And it's why you're seeing such an intensive investigation here in the United States of specific parcels. Now, the White House has said Yemen, so I can say Yemen. It's now official that there is a concern about Yemen, and that's what we've been focused on since early this morning. That's what Commissioner Kelly was focusing on here in New York.
Indeed, and that makes it a little bit easier in terms of tracking down what packages we're worried about on what flights. I mean, if there's no other way to do it, at least we know to look for the packages from Yemen. Congressman P. King, thank you so much. And I want to read, Congressman King, we learned today, well, you may have known, but it was news to a lot of our viewers, that the United States does not control international cargo screening, and that has to be done at the country of origin, meaning in this case, Yemen. So we have to trust the Yemenis to to do their own inspection of the cargo. One has a serious question about, that inspection in light of what we've seen today. Now that we learned that a portion of cargo shipments go out not only on UPS and FedEx flights, but actually wind up on passenger jets, on commercial airliners in the baggage claim area. So we all get screened, our bags all get screened, but on board that baggage claim area is also cargo, and potentially cargo that comes from Yemen that is screened by those in Yemen. What can you say to the American people about their safety when they go in airplanes in light of what we're seeing today?
Megan, obviously I can't go into all the details. We try to do all we can to ensure that on passenger flights we're as close to 100% as possible as far as cargo security. It's never going to be 100%. We want it to be as close to 100% as possible. The law requires 100% on any plane involving passengers. As far as cargo flights themselves, we want it to be as close to 100%. There's a constant tension between us and commercial partners overseas. Even some of our close allies push back on some of our requirements. Certainly a country like Yemen is more difficult, but this is an ongoing tension we have. Progress is being made. Obviously, more has to be made. If there's any ray of sunshine, if you will, that comes out of an event like today, which was stopped, is that gives us more leverage as far as dealing with these countries, letting them know how serious it is, and it increases, again, our position. But there's a constant tension that goes on. And I really can't go into details as to what percentages are or which are more safe than others. But I will say on American passenger flights, they are as close to 100% as possible.
All right, and I just want to say that now we're getting information that there may potentially be a situation involving a suspicious package someplace in Baltimore. The Anne Arundel Fire and EMS Department there in Baltimore, Maryland, confirming that they do, in fact, quote, have a situation involving a package, but it's not located at BWI Airport. We don't know. We don't know that they have a bomb squad on the scene, but they believe it will turn out to be nothing. We are hoping that is indeed the case. Another city and situation that we're now watching. Pete King, what do you think is going on here? Because we've got these so-called suspicious devices, one so-called sinister device that they said is not a bomb. If these are not actually explosive devices, but instead some sort of a mock-up, is it a test run to see whether it might be detected in advance of the elections here in the United States, the holiday season here in the United States, which involves a lot of shipping? What do you think?
Well, we'll have to have a lot of after-game analysis here, but obviously if these are mock-ups, if they are phonies, and then obviously this, I would say, has to be a test. They want to test our defenses. Maybe they just want to scare us. But I would say in that case it probably is a test of our defenses so they can adapt for a future attack. As far as what you're seeing now in Baltimore, we saw in Newark and Philadelphia, New York, there is a large-scale operation going on here by TSA and the FBI. So, yes, we may see a number of them coming back saying that it's negative. Others may turn out to be positive. But what we're seeing is parts of a much larger puzzle, and they give TSA credit for what they're doing.
Indeed. Right. Good point, indeed. Pete King, Congressman, thank you so much from New York. All the best to you.